Welcome. You are now tuned into the Textually Active podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Textually Active, your weekly dose of conversations about navigating the digital age while dealing with friendships, relationships, and all the ships in between. I'm Rez, and I got MEZ with me.
What it, gang?
And I got E on the boards.
Yep.
And we're back, bringing you fire to your wireless speaker or your Apple TV device or your YouTube if you're watching us, because we're fine.
I don't know what you just did there, but I don't ever want you to try that again.
Your wireless device?
The whole thing,
I hope that
it got worse as you went down.
I like
the line.
you guys to listen on the speaker
Oh.
so you can hear us. Or your headphones, but they have to be good headphones.
Nope.
Okay.
Like, we don't
All right.
have a brand deal or nothing.
Nope.
Like all that was.
Right. You just.
I didn't name any.
You did.
You
What?
said Apple TV specifically.
Oh,
And
guys.
we said it again.
Your smart TV. Sorry. If you're listening on your smart TV, doesn't have to be.
I'm pretty sure somebody owns that word too. But it's cool.
Oh, okay. Well, here we are.
What?
We're back for another
Niggas out here
episode.
owning words.
I see you niggas are feeling.
Wow. Coming in hot.
You niggas are feeling like arguing today.
Not really.
That's what it sounds like.
I'm drinking beer.
But other than that, how are you guys feeling?
I'm drinking rum and red. No, I hate that fucking song.
That fuck is the worst.
It's cool,
The
bro.
worst.
Streets is hot. I'm tired. I'm ready to go. You know, trying to be as regular as possible though. But we here.
It's hot as hell.
Yeah, it's hot as shit.
I think we've officially got to that point in North Carolina when every day is hot.
Sick of this fucking mask shit.
Oh my gosh, wearing a mask in the summertime sucks. But I must say that I'm glad that North Carolina made it a rule for us to wear a mask wherever we go. Because you white folks, you whites, was wildin'. Y'all was everywhere with no mask on.
Says the nigga that just came back from not wearing a mask for a week.
I wore a mask when I went out. In Delaware, you had to wear a mask. Like, they are not letting you into the store without a mask on.
Ain't not one picture that you posted on social media over the last week have you in a mask.
I was in the house.
Oh, the beach look nice as shit.
You're not supposed to, you don't have to wear a mask outside.
See, look, all this shit. Niggas always got an excuse for why they ain't got to do some shit.
You don't have to wear a mask outside, and I was at my friend's house. I wasn't at no restaurant sitting down to eat with no mask on.
Wildin'.
But honestly, at a restaurant, you have to,
Putting us all at risk.
That's right. Like, you live with it, so you got the shit.
I wear a mask on the airplane. What do you have to say now?
They made you do it.
Yeah, but I wore one.
Right. You
At
didn't
the
do-
airport,
you
you
didn't choose to.
At the airport, you don't have to wear a mask. It's
Expose her.
suggested.
like
It's a suggestion to wear a mask.
It's all about holding yourself accountable. Queen.
I'm holding myself. I'm holding myself. Hey, how you feeling?
I'm good. I'm off the energy of MEZ. So if he's talking shit, I'm talking shit too.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Come in here and exude big energy. You know how it go.
All right.
Real ass nigga. I'm feeling good. We out here.
Relax.
I'm about to be out of here. I'm taking y'all with me too.
Tell us what's going
You
on.
know what I'm saying? I'm out here doing managerial decisions. We about to blow up soon. You about to be in the streets. I'm gonna need some help, but you know we'll talk when it's time.
Somebody was calling you the Kardashians' mom.
I'm the Kris Jenner of the tray. I liked it,
The Kris Jenner of the
Like it.
tray.
but I date black women.
So
She dated
dates
white
white-
women.
she dates
Damn.
black men.
No,
white women and black men.
Oh, okay.
Shout
like it.
Shout out to OJ.
valid. That's a good one.
So you've been out here making major moves. Got
Just
people
chilling.
calling you Kris Jenner.
Chilling, you know, out here.
And you out of here. You about to touch the stars. Got it. Okay. And we can come too. There's a job.
Bro. I got a job for you. For sure already.
Bet. I'm with it. I'm with the shits. I need a job. You know what I've been spending my time in the house doing?
I'm. What job is that?
You gonna ask?
The thing is like when you say like a woman has a job for like that involves a rapper, it's like, all right, let's see how problematic this is gonna get.
Oh, we gonna touch on that later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
like,
gotta
jump
get into
into
that. We got wait.
Men
Hold
and
your
how
horses, sir.
Men and how they treat women.
right.
And as a rapper,
Okay. How convenient. But no, I do need something to do. I went to the dollar store today. My list had 3 things on it. I got 2 of those 3 things, plus more, way more. And I was going to Walmart to look for a product for Eric's hair that he asked me to get. And somehow I ended up in the home improvement aisle picking up window treatments and shit I didn't need, lip gloss. It's getting crazy out here.
Lose that, I'm sure.
I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah, probably.
which makes me wonder what's the. She said I got 2 out of the 3. What's the one she forgot? Like,
And did she say, "Damn"? Like you know how you like.
so all the shit in the house, like damn.
Right. Yeah, the one thing that you got mad shit, but you forgot one of the things that were on your main list and you got all the extra shit. It was batteries. I didn't get batteries.
Relax. Don't look at me like that. Okay. Yes, I work all day, but goddamn, leave me alone. All right.
So my whole thing is, while I'm in the house, I want to have my 4 walls look like something since I am spending a lot of time at home. And I get tired of looking at like plain walls because living in an apartment, I just don't really care about the space that much. So I really didn't put much into making it feel like a home. It was more so something to come home, go to sleep, wash up, cook. And now that I'm there, I just want to be able to make it feel like something. So that was my whole goal, going to the Dollar General. Shout out to the Dollar General. Like, don't go to fucking IKEA. Don't go to Target. Go to the Dollar General. Get your things. I got a bookshelf for $13. Okay, you hear me?
Okay.
$13. Put it together. 1, 2, 3. They said it was easy. It was actually easy. Unlike IKEA. So, just creating that space so that I can feel better while I'm at home. Because when I came back from Delaware, I kind of felt like that was home, and it feels like home. I want my apartment or the space that I'm occupying at the time to feel like a home.
Yeah, me and Jazz just put a desk together the other day.
Yeah.
It was lit. Now we got a little home office. It's lit in there.
Yes.
It's lit.
That's what it's about, though. You got to make it feel like something. So that was my week and how I felt and coming back. And we're just getting better, during this quarantine. It looks like we may be going back under a quarantine. I wouldn't be mad if they did.
So you know what that mean, baby?
What?
Send that stimmy.
You think the second stimmy coming?
We need that stimmy.
I haven't been really keeping up with it because I don't want to get my feelings hurt. But I heard that they extending that they giving the unemployment an extendo clip. And I'm with the shit.
Send the stimmy.
I'm with the shit. Don't rush to go back to work, people. Hang in there.
Send the stimmy.
Hang
That's all I know.
in there.
This is the main thing the Republicans were talking about.
I don't care. I don't care about none of this shit. I don't care about people being sick. Send the stimmy.
Allegedly. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to. I don't want people to think that I'm a black Republican. I ain't.
Some days you never know. You got views. You might have some views.
Can you hear the fan?
No.
It feel good though. It's hot as a bitch in North Carolina.
It is. We was just talking about that.
All right, we rambling. Let's change gears for a little bit.
Let's change gears. Let's go ahead and jump into our discussion for the week. It feels like it's a lot of tension between Black people versus everybody else, but it's also some tension with Black women and Black men. And this isn't something new. This is something that has been going on for a while, especially, and I feel like it gets exposed more when we do have the racial issues in our community with Black men getting killed and Black women being killed by the police. And just the argument that women stand for Black women stand up for Black men more than they stand up for us. And it's going around that Black women do not feel protected by anyone. And it's been an ongoing conversation, especially with our rapper from NC, J. Cole, dropping his song. It's been an argument with Breonna Taylor and countless other Black women who have lost their lives and just weren't protected. And,
and not talked about enough.
And not talked about enough. Their stories get covered up, We don't really hear about it. People really don't care that much about them. It was an issue when Black girls were disappearing and nobody really stood up for that. That kind of just got pushed under the rug. So it's a valid feeling, and I just wanted to come in here and address that because it's something that I'm passionate about as a Black woman and just occupying the space. So let's go ahead and start off with what it means to protect Black women, because you guys are two men who have Black women in your life. You have your mothers, your sisters, and your girls, your women, the ladies of your life. So what does it mean to protect Black women to you two?
For me, it essentially feels like to be present, right? To be like, not say be around physically, but just to be able to provide that sense of comfort. And I don't want to say security in terms of like providing, but just more about that they have like absolute trust in you, right? And that they believe that if you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. Like they can just feel completely like they can let their guard down around you and not worry about being hurt physically, emotionally, mentally, so on and so forth.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I have no idea. I have no answer to this question. I just try my best to treat the women around me as people, not women. So
That's fair.
Like, I have no idea. I try to shut up sometimes. Just shut up because I don't know. Like, I don't know what it takes. I don't know what it takes to make somebody feel protected. So much less a woman to feel protected at times. And, like, I believe I've never, like, been, like, malicious. I might have said a slick word of here. I've sexualized a woman before. I'll say that. I have. But, I don't know, and so I just try my best.
So I feel like I want you to expand on.
I mean,
just to clarify,
like see a woman and comment on how she looks and shit like that. You know what I'm saying, shit like that.
Objectify.
Yeah, objectify. Sexualize her. It's weird, but like I don't know, bro. I just try my best to treat the women in my life like people. Like just be. Well, however you would treat people, how you want to be treated.
Yeah,
it's the golden rule.
I kind of agree with WMEZ. Well, not say kind of, but I agree with WMEZ with that in terms of that we know that there is a disparity in different things, right? But I feel like you kind of want to just treat people like people. You know what I mean? Like you try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, which I feel like is like the bigger thing when it comes to racial inequality. It's just like giving someone the benefit of the doubt, and what that means is in terms of just like making sure make sure that they like, just because I'm black and I'm bigger than you doesn't mean I'm about to rob you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like give me the benefit of the doubt that I'm not here to do wrongdoing. And I think that's just kind of like the common thing, like across. I try to do for all people, but I mean, I can't say.
I hate how this kind of sounds like. All people matter type thing,
but it's not though.
But it's not.
It's not though.
Yeah, but it's not. It's just like I tend to see my black women as people. Like it's not just a woman. I don't think I'm better than them because they're women. I don't think I know more. I don't think I deserve more. I just I think.
And the thing is, I recognize the fact that like. Women rule everything.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean? Like, or for things to be good, like a woman has to be like involved in the sense of just the frame of like the way that like particularly black women approach things, like just way more thorough than like I could be in some cases. Like, right. Sometimes you just someone's there to just who pays attention and can see the gaps and help fill that in without asking. When I feel like maybe we don't do that, right? I feel like black women protect in a sense that it's like I don't have to be told to do it. I just know it ain't right, and I'm gonna do what I need to do to make sure that we make it, we make it right.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how we go about things. I personally look at black women as a symbol of strength, We're able to endure a lot. We carry a lot on our shoulders on a day-to-day basis because we are expected to be caretakers. We're expected to serve. We're expected to do all these things, be mentally available for everybody else, all while keeping a smile on our face. So when I think about protecting Black women, I think about standing up for them in situations when they are being disrespected, whether it's by your friend, your father, your cousin. We've all been in situations when there may have been an argument between a man and a woman, and I've seen times where the man just another man in the room doesn't step in and say, yo, chill on his sister. But I also been on the other end and seen a man stand up and say, hey, like, that's a female you talking to, and seen it escalate to other things.
But isn't that problematic?
What?
To an extent?
What's problematic?
I mean, like, to say, oh, like, you're talking to a female. Like, first of all, like, female piece, right? I know that that's one thing.
I don't see. Here's what the point is. We don't know. Like, we don't know. Like, now.
And this is perspective, right?
So you think it's problematic for another man to step in when a woman is being disrespected by a man?
No, that's not what I said.
So you think it's disrespectful for a man to say, chill on, you're stuck on the female word?
That's the first
so the
part.
female word can be seen as disrespect to women because that's how people identify animals when they're talking about their sex. So women prefer to be called women, and I'm all with that. But most times when you hear it, it's chill on that female, or men. I feel like it's still in translation with people adopting, calling them women.
Bro,
or a woman.
We could be Black in here. Yo, chill on Shorty.
Yeah, chill on Shorty.
Chill on Shorty.
Like that
chill on old girl.
That even feels
chill on mamas. Okay.
That feels better than
so
female. Right?
That's what I'm thinking when I say protect women. I'm thinking in that same sense, don't disrespect a woman. I don't care how mad you are. I don't care if she told you to suck her dick and she don't have one. And you are supposed to be like, y'all, you got it, because I'm not going to argue with a woman because I respect you that much. Even though you disrespected me, I respect you enough to take the high road and walk the fuck away. Because at the end of the day, you're a woman. I know how much weight you carry on your shoulder. I know what you go through on a day to day. You rule the world. And in a sense, yes, treat us like a queen. Hold on, I'm not done. My other thing when I say protect women is to be gentle with them. It's no reason for you to be rough with a woman. Some men only protect Black women because they like them. That's not fair. That's not fair.
That's fair.
I mean, respect every single last Black woman and then every other race after that. Another thing is, like, when I say gentle, I mean, like, hold doors, make sure they get to their car, let them walk on the inside of the sidewalk, check on them, do mental check-ins, call your girlfriend, your Black friend, yo sis, you good? Like, how you doing mentally? Just be there and protect Black women. Now, Meezy, I've seen you do it recently too, because you was there. This girl is not somebody that you're dating. It's not somebody that you're with. We were all out. We were at a bar. She was disrespected, and you were the first person to stand up and be like, yo, chill on Shorty. Remember?
Yeah, I was
at Vintage.
I was with the smoke that night.
When we was at Vintage.
Big smoke.
I did.
And
I was with it. That
one
night.
of our girlfriends kept getting tapped in the back, and she's like standing up for herself, and Meezy took it upon himself and some of the other guys we were with to like stand up and say, yo, like, relax. So that's what I mean when I say protect Black women.
That's the whole thing is a weird slope, because I feel like the part that I caught, as a guy, I only caught one part of what Red said. So
you stuck on that one
the
part.
one part. Yeah, the one part I'm replying to in the text thread.
Yeah, right. Like it's like you said, you had this whole thing, and
Right.
I answered the last question.
You brought her
Exactly.
shrimp and lobster. You went home. You fucked her. You sucked her toes. I ain't buy that bitch no shrimp and lobster.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just this one minor detail of it. But it's just like I feel like it's just human nature to react.
Yes.
It doesn't matter like who it is. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm in a room, Shawty starts spazzing on me. It is just nature to react.
To defend yourself.
Yeah, so it's like I don't feel like
But that sounds like even
it feels weird.
Like,
it feels wild. It's like, bro, there's nothing that you could possibly be in a wrong about. And there's nothing I could do to like there's no way that I'm quote unquote a victim.
Who, men?
Yes. Like if I if you come in,
well, I don't want to say black men, but I think I kind of see where you're going.
Like if I say something to you, you get offended, and you go crazy on me. There's not like everybody in the room saw that it wasn't that big of a deal, but you took it how you took it, and it's cool. But then when you get disrespectful with me and I get offended, I'm not allowed to feel that way because you're a woman. Like it's weird. It's like this weird. Catch-22. Yeah,
I don't think it's a thing to say that you're not heard. I think it's more so saying, be mindful in the way that you react to a black woman if you're behind the Protect Black Women train. It's not saying that your feelings, you can't control the way you react, but you can be mindful in the way that you approach it.
But what I'm saying is I can't tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I can't say to you, you need to react. I can't tell you, you need to watch how you talk to me, because then it seems like I'm being like the patriarchy.
Like you're patronizing.
Yeah, like I can never tell you that.
You can't because you can't tell women to do anything because we run this shit. But that's exactly what it is.
But it comes down to like a common respect and then reciprocity, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things like I'm sure you've heard this stuff all the time where it's like I said, independent black woman, right? And I feel like it's right. You can have your own, you can do all that stuff, right? But then it's like I still want you to pay. I still want you to pay the rent,
right?
And it's kind of like a weird way of, and it's not to say it's wrong, but I feel like we're at a weird time where we're transitioning, and like our generation, millennials, like we have been taught stuff from old school and started seeing how the new school is starting to do.
Right.
But I feel like the people after Gen Z, like our kids, they're going to be in that completely new space where it's like, it's not really a conflict because that's just how it's always been.
I've always said we're never going to have equality until we get rid of traditionalism. Like I've been taught certain things. Yeah. Like it ain't like it's not saying that it's cool and it's right or it's justified. It's just a way. It's a way of the world. Like I don't think, like, it's crazy that you can call your homegirl a bitch, but if I do it, it's weird. I think it's just a culture amongst black people to use the word like that.
Right. I think some black women don't mind being called a bitch by a man.
So now we getting in like
it's not.
Yeah. So now we getting into the tone
it
and
is some black women who don't mind like the word bitch, but I do have some of my homegirls who. It's a thing with black women. Like I think it's a test to your friendship because I've met. I like calling my homegirls bitch. I love being able to say bitch. Guess what? Or bitch. Don't you like bitch? Who do you think you are? Like I love being able to say that. But when you get a new friend, like a new black girlfriend. All black girls don't go for that shit. I have a friend who's like woke as shit and she's not with that bitch conversation. And we had that awkward moment where I was like bitch and she didn't say bitch back and I'm looking at her like, so like you don't do the bitch. And it's a tricky line to walk on because you can't say that all women enjoy the word bitch. I'm one of few.
Right. And I've even, like now, like Jazz brings it up all the time that I use the word bitch a lot. But it's me, but it don't be like in an offensive. We'll be watching TV and I'm like, yo, that bitch wild. She wild. But then I'm like, oh shit, I did it again. But it's
because it's a way of identifying genders. Without saying he or she, because if you say a nigga, right, nigga is black, but it's also white, but it's also men, but it's also sometimes
that
women.
Nigga is wild,
but it's also bitch is just bitch. Bitch.
So it's things that we've learned over time that we have not gotten rid of as a society, and it's like until we can figure out this whole just position of like, gender roles and shit like that, it's gonna take a while for like I see why they don't feel like equality. Yeah, it's gonna take a while to unlearn this, and I can see why they don't feel like equals and
in
stuff.
a sense. Yeah, women get looked at as this soft creature. We can't really do much. We need men. Without men, we can't do anything. And it translates into the workplace, especially for women who are working in a male-dominated environment where they don't trust the things that we do because we're not expected to know these things.
Which is
and
wild.
when we're talking equality, we're not necessarily talking about open my door. I still want you to open my door because I'm a woman at the end of the day.
What does that mean?
I still want you to pay for my dinner at the end of the day. But I also want to get paid the same amount as a man. I also want to get treated the same way as a man in the workplace. I want to be able to wear a low-cut shirt to an office and not be looked at as fucking meat. I want to be treated equal.
Yes. The last one in particular.
No, I do.
The last objectifying, I get that.
I don't want you guys to look at my tillies.
I mean, I've been in the workplace and
the tillies is out.
The tillies going. They was going to do that anyway.
But
relax.
I've been in workplaces and I've seen like people look at my print. I've been there. You know what I mean? Didn't like it. No, I don't like.
They treat you like a piece of meat.
Yo, like that shit's wild. Like you, like when you notice it, you're like, yo, like I'm like, yo, relax.
Should have left your meat at home, bro.
What is you home, bro?
That's what we hear. You should have wore a bigger shirt.
But what I'm saying is, it's a whole like thing, and it's not just women. It's society. So if I'm on Instagram and 85% of your pictures are you at that angle, so I see your ass, because it's part of your brand, and then the one day you decide to come out the house with your ass out and then ask, like, bro, why you ain't got, like, I thought this was what it was for you. Now I seem like the creep, the weirdo, because that's not the type of time you was on today. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. It's like, and then even for guys,
well,
I
understand that it's not an invitation. Like, it's definitely.
It's
not
never.
It's never.
Yeah.
And I feel like, at least for me, like, it's not an invitation. Like, all right, I get it. Like, if you're showing your body like on the internet and all that stuff like that, cool, right? But I mean, I guess there's like the fine point that if you show it like at different times and then someone looks like that's like that's where the confusion part, because like it's like impulse almost, like for some people it's just like, all right, I'm gonna look you in the face, like, you know what I mean, like, or whatever the case might be.
I feel like seeing it on your timeline all the time, it's kind of like, okay, I see ass and titties, so this is what I'm going to expect when I see women out in the real world. I'm going to expect to see ass and titties. I think the issue comes when you don't separate those two. Like when you just see that on Instagram and you think that's how every woman is, and you treat every woman based off of the shit that you see on Instagram.
True, but I still want to know if Meg had on panties under that blue dress.
And I do too. Like,
I feel like that's just a valid question.
I do too.
Like, with her persona, why would I take Meg Thee Stallion serious as a rapper? Only because she's a woman. That's the only reason. And it isn't because, what I'm saying is, from the looks of it, I would be like, damn, all Meg do is twerk. I don't want to hear music from a motherfucker that just twerk. You know what I'm saying? But me asking like, oh, well, damn, the music is good. The music is about scamming niggas, popping pussy. Regardless, whatever she wants to rap out, it's fine. But when I go in my mind and process that, now I'm like, I wonder if she had on panties under that. like, just because it's also part of her brand. Like,
but you have to think about the rap industry.
Rap's wild.
And what you have to do as a woman to get attention in that industry. It's been set up in a way where you had the little Kims busting her coochie open at like 15 on the front of that album cover.
Which is nasty because a nigga was writing those raps.
Oh, yeah, that's very nasty. Or you have the Foxies who was skipping high school to go hang out with Jay-Z. Or you have like all the other girls, countless girls, Nicki Minaj out here talk about she's bi, let me sign your titties and all that stuff. So I feel like in order to be a successful, and I hate to say it like this, but in order to be a successful female rapper, you have to give a little bit of sex. Nobody talks about Rhapsody. Is she sexy?
I mean, I don't really listen to music like that anymore unless it just kind of comes across. But I just like, there's people who are of her caliber that Like, I haven't listened to her stuff.
What happened to T.R. Wack?
I think what happens is, but I don't think that's gender based that we're being here, because the same way we don't talk about guys that really rap like Black Thought, we don't stick those guys. I think it's just whatever your content is.
It's a different thing for men too. You guys have to kind of show some level of ratchetness or some
kind of
type
gimmick,
gangster
like
storyline. But right now, as we focus on women, in order to get somewhere in the industry, you kind of have to show a little ass, shake a little tit.
But I think that's because that is a reflection. These girls is on their stories. Regular people on their stories, loving what the city girls represent.
But you're not gonna see someone in a turtleneck talking about pop that coochie.
Simone does it all the time.
She does. She does.
Leave her alone. Leave her alone.
Oh, my fault.
Yeah, stop making fun of her. Okay.
No, you too.
Oh,
but like I feel like we've gotten to a point where art is imitating life now. Very much so.
Especially like with us not being able to go anywhere.
So then it brings up the whole, we went through that whole year of what is Hot Girl Summer. And Hot Girl Summer is just women doing what men do. And being allowed to do what men do. So when it becomes this thing of man versus woman, then that's where the clash comes. It's like, okay, Future might be toxic, but Meg scamming a nigga for his money is just as toxic. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so it's this weird, like we always find a way to try to one up each other. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because society has us thinking that men are this superior thing. And even if you want to get to the biblical place of it, like Adam was not, he was about to listen to God. Adam was like, yo, he said like, nah, we can't do this. But because Adam knew that was his woman and she was like, nah, this shit cool. And he did it with her. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? See? So it's like.
Are you saying Adam was the first ride to die?
No, Adam was the first simp nigga.
Are you saying Adam was pussy whipped or
Adam wanted some of that thing?
He wanted that thing.
So he had to play the play.
He seen that thing was twinkling in that light. He
you know
said,
what I'm saying?
Oh, you want me to do what?
He didn't realize she was naked. He saw her as a person. Mm-hmm. But then they ate the apple. He was like, oh, she got that ass on her.
That's nigga preaching.
You know what I'm saying? So we have like grown from this whole thing of like, even like the way we see a relationship. Sometimes he might want you to protect him. When his order ain't right, what you supposed to step in and be like, nah, fam, he ordered this steak medium well, this well as fuck.
Or if we out with friends and one of my friends start talking crazy to him, he gonna be looking at me like, yo, you gonna check this bitch?
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I think we don't, like, I think everything is like time, like it just happens at a time, like you can remember to like do shit. It's like, damn, I wasn't even thinking, like she felt a type of way, I should have been there to protect her. Or like, oh, these niggas is harassing this girl, it ain't none of my business, but I guess I should step in just because. And then you fuck around and be jumped, and then it's like weird. Like I don't want to put myself in harm's way, but I know that's not right.
It's something we all have to learn to do, especially as a culture. Just being more aware of what Black women need and the other women after that, as far as protection. Because,
but I don't. Is that like a blanket thing?
What do you mean?
Like there's not like one way to protect all Black women.
It's multiple. It is one way to protect.
Like it's
all Black
not
women.
like, hey, we all in the world know that the red light on the street light means stop.
Yeah.
There is no like, hey, there's no like playbook.
It's a behavior that you have to learn, because naturally you're gonna want to ignore or mind your business if you're out in public and you see a Black woman being disrespected or being like street cat called when she's walking down the street. I think you have to use your common sense there, because if you're in a certain area and it's just you by your lonely and it's 12 of them niggas, like you just said, you don't want to be the one to say, hey guys, cut that out right now. But you still want to like think about maybe I should jump in. And like I said, it's a learned behavior. You have to figure out like where you can do it, but always keep in mind that you should be doing it.
Facts. So it's like do it, but be safe.
Yeah, be safe. I would love for you to put your life on the line for me. That's just myself personally, but I speak for Rez, not for all the women in the world. But I'm sure all the other black women in the world feel that way. But not only just with strangers, but mostly with your friends, because we've seen incidents this year with like women coming out and speaking, especially on Twitter, about people who sexually assaulted them. And everybody's saying, if I'm following your sexual assaulter, let me know so that I can unfollow them. And in a sense, it's just an unfollow, but it's also holding that person accountable for the stuff that they did to that woman.
Is it?
And if you have a friend that's doing rapey shit, like, check him.
How do I know? Like, here's the thing. I choose personally not to know about all of your conquests.
Here's an example.
Positive or negative. Like, I make it a thing not to ask, yo, did you hit Shawty? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't care. I don't need to know that. That's y'all business.
But my thing is, if you do know it and you realize that it's wrong, say something. It's not your business to go digging and saying, yo, let me see that little girl ID. How old is she? You say you picked her up from where? High school. Nah, like, it's not your job to check every girl ID or give every girl a sobriety check. But if you are there and you see it, say something. That's it.
I was confused. I was lost for a second.
I'm lost.
I'm back.
I was like, it's not, I don't know. Like, I don't even know. Like, you might know her for real, and this might be what y'all do. Like, y'all might only link on the drunk night, and I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think maybe it's not right, but if, like, who am I to be like, nah, bro, I don't think tonight's the night to do that? Because once we leave each other, you probably gonna do this shit anyway.
That's why I'm saying it's a learned behavior. Just do it. Like, do it in the times where you feel like you should do it.
But I feel like, which is my point. Like, that's where I was about to go. Mm-hmm. Where do you learn this from? Like, it ain't book. It ain't like
somebody wrote a book about it.
Sorry, no name. That book's not in your book club. I didn't see that one there.
Are we going here?
But where is the tools and the tips?
I think it starts by listening to the things that we're saying as Black women. We come out and we say, I felt this way when I went to the dollar store with this dress on, and somebody said, yo, that ass is wiggling. And you hear that, you understand how it made me feel when somebody said that to me. I don't know if you were there, but I was at a bar the other day, or when the world was open. It wasn't the other day. And some guy like walked past me and he was like, damn, you got some big ass titties. And I was like humiliated to the point where I had to go home. But like, he thought that shit was okay.
See, now you brought this up. I was there. This happened because she went to the bathroom, right? And I was at the front of the bar. And she just told me that she was ready to go. Didn't say that this happened because we talked about it when we left, right? And like that's the thing, right? Yeah. It's like all right, it'd be different. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just like the weird thing, because like I can only go through what was in your head. Like, you say you were humiliated, you just wanted to leave. I get that. That was protecting you in that moment, right? But what happens if you would have told me, and then I would have went to him? Then, you know what I'm saying? Like,
then she stopped you from fighting a dude because she don't want to see you, and so it's like this weird thing.
Yeah, I didn't want it to go that far.
So I don't know what. I guess just getting you out of there is the best way to protect you.
In that situation, that's what I wanted. I don't want you to go up to a guy in a bar where everybody's drunk and say, yo, bitch, you told my girl she got some big ass titties, because in fact, I do have big ass titties. But the point is that I don't want that to turn into a fight, because I have to protect you and everything you have going on too. So in that instance, in my mind, my best thing to do was to get the fuck out of there, because it was uncomfortable.
But then, I feel
like
can we explore the?
I feel like part of loving your woman is like being willing to risk it all for her.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to be able to listen to what we're saying to understand where you can step in and protect us.
See, okay. I just felt like I just knew that I had, so like, you know what I mean, like in that situation, it's not that I wanted to say, yeah, I wanted to find the guy and punch him in the face. It's not saying that whatever, like, but the fact that was taken away from me, like I just felt some type of way. Like I wasn't mad or anything like that, but I'm just like, yo, like I felt disrespected because you felt disrespected.
Because that was the time that he could have stepped in and told dude that's not the right thing to do. But you deprived him of that.
Yeah.
So there was a learning opportunity missed because of that. And it's not me like talking patronizing. I'm just saying like I don't like the other day, girl put a post on Twitter. It literally says, show a black woman that she's loved today. And I just asked how. Like, because there's not a blanket way to do this.
Yes.
So she was like, why are you trolling me right now? And I said, nah, this is not a troll. This is a blanket. It's not a blanket thing you can do. And then she goes, well, it's not rocket science. You can do it by showing her, you know, she's appreciated, she's heard, she's seen. And I'm like, bro, I felt patronized that you had to say it to me. Like, you had to talk down to me about it. And I said it. And then I'm like, me and Jazz spent the entire day talking about this. And I'm like, bro, but at what point do I get to defend myself? Like, you don't have to talk down to me. Just answer my question.
Right.
But apparently, they ain't raising no nigga. They not teaching no man. They not doing none of this. So a nigga that ain't never learned or knew how to love or show love or how to listen or how to like.
Or was actually open to actually learn something or to try to change.
He just supposed to be out here on his ass.
Right.
Or he has to know how to read, which J. Cole doesn't know how to do.
Read.
I felt like you swept right by that.
Read.
It's really a moment for you to address that.
Like, read. I'm supposed to read what? Shit from a woman's perspective who has felt hurt before.
I see both sides. I understand that. I think it comes from a place of us being tired as black women. Not every black woman, but majority of us has spent a good amount of our time teaching a man how to do something, showing a man the way, giving our emotional support just to be shitted on. And it's gotten to the point where everybody is voicing their opinion on that. And we're kind of tired. Like, we're tired of being the person that's supposed to teach, educate, know all, serve, cater, make sure you're good, all while smiling and just being this woman with this big bosom that just takes everybody in and hugs them and nurtures them. That's not my job.
But I would argue the fact that the same way if you're in a relationship with somebody, right? And I would probably say, what's your love language? You're not going to tell me, yo, figure it out.
But that girl,
well, I'm saying,
okay, that's different because Meezy's not in a relationship with that girl on Twitter. And hold on, tones can't be read on Twitter. So she may have thought that he was being sarcastic because he just said one word, how? And she could have just read that and been like, oh no, this nigga, da 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 da, and then had to type what she had to say. But that's Twitter. Like, I'm sure if you would have said.
For the record, Jazz agreed with her.
Oh, yeah.
So when we had the conversation, Jazz agreed with the girl. Mm-hmm. It's not rocket science. Right. But what does that mean? You telling me that in that tone, there's no way to misinterpret, nigga, it's not rocket science. Or it's not rocket science.
That's like you're talking down at me.
Like, but you don't have to do that because when I'm dumb, I'm supposed to be asking questions, which is what I'm doing.
My whole thing for her, she's not obligated to teach you anything or tell you anything. She said what she said. That was her tweet. And you know how Twitter gives it up.
But I'm saying, like, mine is Twitter.
So when niggas is trying,
that happens in real life too.
Yeah,
outside of Twitter, outside of social media.
I don't think it happened. Like I feel like our community of friends is a safe space. If you would have said that and we was face to face drinking beer with people, the reaction probably would have been different.
It depends on who the people are. Because some women would have taken that as like, nigga, what are you talking about?
But I mean, but that's not life though. Life is not how we act. This is just a microcosm of what it could. You know what I'm saying? The different possibilities. The fact that everything is not absolute. So the fact is, like, how can someone feel comfortable to try to learn or to try to say, hey, like, I really want to know how, right? How can I say this without not feeling like like I'm gonna be like shunned, right? Because then now the opportunity that I was actually open to actually learn something and to actually change, I might not want to do it no more, because it's like every time I try to extend myself, you kind of get popped in the mouth, like, nah, back up. You know what I mean? And then what?
It's kind of like with the race situation with white people, because you guys are going through this too. And racism, it's literally like that. It's like what women are saying, we're being mistreated, we've been molested, we get abused, we don't get paid right, we did the list goes on and on and on. And we turn around and we look at men and their response is how or why. And it's like, you have all the same resources. You have women in your life that you can ask these questions that are there to help you, your spouse, your mother, your sister, whatever. A boatload of people. But it's just like, you have to think about the way black people are tired of white people acting ignorant about the stuff. That's how black women feel when you guys are like, well, what do you mean protect black women? Or what do you mean show them love? Or how do I do that? Like,
no, so I mean,
so you have to think about, like, we're tired.
This shit feel real. And I don't even care if this cancel Meezy for this. This shit feel real fucking selfish. Especially when you see a woman say some shit like, I did all this for him to go be with somebody else. Mm-hmm. Like, not the fact that you just taught a man some shit he never knew. It's the fact that you taught him all of this shit to go be somewhere else. Or go do it for somebody else. And it's like this whole thing of like, yo, I feel like as a society, we should just want to see people be the best people they can be. Mm-hmm. Regardless of who they are. But it's like, bro, as a community, if it's not self-serving, we don't give a fuck.
I think that's the best way to do it. I say it all the time. Be selfish. Worry about yourself. Like, I don't think there's nothing wrong with being selfish. I say put yourself first. That way you can know how to treat other people. I'm selfish. I don't care. I'll admit it. And I want everybody I'm around to be selfish.
But that's where this is where dynamics don't work. If I decide today, hey, I don't feel like coming to record TA, right? And then you ask me, like, bro, what's going on? Like, why you don't want to record today? And I just say, I don't feel like it. I don't owe you an explanation. Like, I just have to inform you. All I have to do is inform you. So then, regardless of how selfish it is for me and me protecting me, you're not going to see it that way. You're not going to see it as me, like, doing something for me. You just going to be like, this nigga ruined the entire plan that we had today. Now we got to figure out something new. But it's just like, bro, I wanted to take care of myself, and nobody ever sees it like that from the outside. It's just in the moment. It's like he's been an ass. Yep, and he don't have to, like, for nothing. And it's like, no, bro, I wanted to protect I'm like being selfish.
I'm protecting my peace. I think that's the new way to say fuck y'all. I'm self-caring.
That's
protecting
crazy.
My peace.
It's crazy. And then
when your friends want to know why you ain't show up, hey, not tonight. Protecting my peace. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, because I don't know what you're going through mentally, and it does take a lot to come here every week, right, you know, outside of TA, but to do certain things and activities when you have a lot weighing on your heart. So that's why I say it's nothing wrong with putting yourself first. I think that's how you should live your life.
And it be blowing my mind.
But everybody doesn't see it that way.
It be blowing my mind that for some reason, the conversation between black men and black women is that black men can never say anything to black women, regardless of if they in the right or in the wrong. There is not a place. I ask, and I still don't know the answer. When is there a time to tell her, Shorty, you're wildin'?
I would love to say that there is a time. I would love to say that there is a way to do it. However, I'd be lying. You're never going to be able to tell. I mean, it's a reach saying never, because I've had E pull me up and say, hey, you got to relax. And I think it's more about knowing your place, because as a stranger or as somebody that you just see at a bar, telling a woman to relax is only going to make her worse. So if it's a woman that you're close to, I think it goes based off of your relationship with her and the way that you say it. Because saying that you're never allowed to say that you're wilding will be wrong, because you have to hold the people that you're around accountable.
I don't think, and then that's becomes where am I telling her what to do, or am I holding her accountable? It comes into play, and we saw how the No Name and J. Cole thing played out. The whole situation is people were trying to point fingers at who was in the wrong versus finding a solution to what just happened. If No Name felt like the top rappers are going platinum by using black people's plight, but yet they won't send a tweet out, that's fine.
But as we
you don't have to direct that at somebody, because we all know there's not that many rappers going platinum, and there's not that many people talking about black people's plight. So when you put that combination together, you're specifically talking about two rappers major, because I don't think Drake talks about people's plight other than his own. So
light skin plight, if you
single bachelor light skin plight.
Rich plight.
But so when you say black people's
my
plight,
daddy wasn't there, but he was really there plight.
So when you talk about black people's plight to go platinum, you're talking about Kendrick and J. Cole. So allegedly. So then I feel like it's fine for me to go, wait, like, you don't have to do all of that. Instead of doing that, you could have blank. And I feel like that's all J. Cole did, was say, instead of doing that, you could have did this, because I'm not this kind of person. Like, I'm not the person that claims I know everything as everybody says I do. If you have all this information, why don't you just share it instead of talking down to me?
Because it's not her job. It's not her job. But hold on, I will say,
I feel like you're kind of leaning right into what we're saying.
J. Cole.
I'm asking you to teach me, and you don't want to teach me, but you would rather tell me how shitty of a job I'm doing. It's like me and my mom got into this argument the other day. She asked me to do something and then didn't like the way that I did it. And I'm like, if you wanted it done a certain way, why don't you just do it? Why are you asking me to do something? Just do it. Like, you ain't got to involve me in what you want be done. Like,
or you can tell me exactly how you want it done.
J. Cole didn't read the room. This was a terrible time to make what sounds like a diss record towards a black woman.
But it's okay for her to make a diss tweet at a black man during the time and just divide us even further.
It's not okay. But it's just not. We're screaming protect black women, and you make a song about a black woman who didn't take the time to teach you individually how to be an activist.
We're not asking her to teach us individually. We're asking her to tell us as a group what you want us to do.
But isn't that what she's been doing?
No, she just said these niggas out here selling music and making millions off of plight, but won't tweet for us.
So has she been using her platform to tell people where to go, what to do, and how to do it?
So what do that got to do with me? That don't have shit to do with me. Like, just because I ain't tweeting, but I will go to Fayetteville, where I don't even live, and walk the streets with the people. Mm-hmm. And go do that shit. The protest that you've been telling everybody we need to go do. I've been doing that. And then everybody has this whole narrative about J. Cole. It's not about the situation. It's the fact that J. Cole said something to a woman. Because at times, J. Cole has been very misogynistic. He's been very toxic. So, hey, there's another case of a man telling a woman what to do. And it's like, no, bro, I just felt a type of way about how you feel about me for no reason.
But why couldn't he pull her to the side and talk to her about this? Why did it have to be a song?
Same reason she put it on the timeline that people follow.
But he could have addressed it on the timeline as well.
She could have did the same. What's the difference? It don't make it right how you do it, regardless.
I didn't like it. I felt like she was already doing enough for us, and he's kind of like, no, like, teach me, read me your book.
But the thing is, so if I don't know what he was doing, I don't know what she's been doing, right? So I'm not on Twitter like that, so like I kind of catching it second, third hand. But what happens if he was given money? Like, we don't know what was happening up to that point.
I feel like
and just because he didn't broadcast it, it's like how, and that could be for anybody. That can be for any celebrity that that has a platform. Like, who's to say that like we don't, like, just because we don't put it on Front Street that it's not happening.
I think it's further making her tweet correct because he felt like it was directed towards him, so he felt the need to respond. She never said that it was towards him, did she?
No. Just because you subliminally, like, I can figure out if you came in here and said, that nigga that eat chicken wings all the time, just be in here talking wild. Like, how am I, like, not, everybody in the room probably eat chicken wings, but when you say that nigga, it's very specific. Like, I know who you talk about. And I have a place to respond and be like, bro, you don't have to talk to me like that. And then, we even had the conversation with our friends. And we asked them to talk to us and tell us how they feel, because I didn't see what J. Cole did wrong, and they clearly felt the type of way about J. Cole and what he said.
Yeah, and our friends were very active on this conversation about J. Cole, and I feel like they would be able to kind of explain it in a way that we all understand it, because I'm on the opposite end and I understand where No Name was coming from. And I don't understand. I don't like the way J. Cole handled it. So I think it was best to just find somebody to tell us what happened, and then we could take it from there, right?
Yeah.
So we got Doctors Livingston. They're both doctors.
Both doctors.
Dope.
Black family.
They live in Winston-Salem. 2 Black married doctors.
Family, moms, dads.
Beautiful.
Husband, wives.
Right.
Doctors.
So we have them here to explain their thoughts on the J. Cole situation.
Toxic masculinity today.
Yeah.
So in 2009, he had the song Dreams, in which he rapped about killing his love interest's boyfriend so he could get at her, which as a woman is terrifying. Yeah. Toxic masculinity. 2014, he had No Role Models.
No Role Models. Yeah.
Chorus.
Love that song, by the way.
LA sisters versus LA hoes. Lames don't know the difference.
Don't save her.
Don't save her. Toxic masculinity. And then
understand that because hoes can be saved too.
He pivoted and did the tired rap trope of releasing that album For Your Eyes Only because he had a wife and a daughter. So now he's able to see women as people because he has a daughter.
Yeah. Which is a part of the long history that you see male rappers participating in, Nas being one of them. But I think one of the things that particularly disappointed me about this situation as an educator myself, when I look at Cole, who is a college educated rapper, right? Like
magna cum laude.
Yeah, he is one of these folks who did not use his privilege to his advantage. He didn't take advantage of the resources at his disposal.
Bragged about not reading.
Yeah, he sort of doubled down on that in a moment where there's plenty of topics that are worthy of his attention. He decided to direct his angst at a black woman in a moment where we need to be uplifting and supporting the work that black women are doing.
And people say
that part right there.
Nah, I get it. I definitely get it.
Hold on. There's more.
She mentioned him first, but I think her tweet was more general, and I didn't even really think of him when I saw it at all, but he took it personally and came at her directly, which is another, didn't really sit well with us.
Yeah, so in all, we just want to hold Sir Jermaine accountable.
We don't think he's the worst.
Facts. I don't.
He doesn't.
But thanks for listening, family. Peace and love.
So there you have it.
And it just goes back to my point. At no point while we spoke with them did we address No Name, because she did no wrong here at all.
I think as somebody who has been trying to be active in everything that we're doing, it does get frustrating when you're out there and you're marching and you're putting your life on the line and you're advocating, you're telling everybody, at the top of your lungs, Black Lives Matter, and then you turn around and you see people using that movement to capitalize off of it, but they're not actually doing the groundwork. That's frustrating. And it's not to say that she was only talking to Cole. She could have been talking to other rappers because there are a lot of other rappers coming out saying, do this, Breonna Taylor that, and they're not really being proactive in the movement. So I'm just saying she could have been talking to anybody, and she has the right to be frustrated in this moment.
But
he took it in a time where we're saying protect black women, uplift black women, love a black woman today, he took the time out of his day instead of doing that and being proactive to make a song saying, why are you mad at me for not reading?
I just want to know.
It doesn't matter.
And I also think the other thing is not and cancel me for this at 10, hit the button.
Hit the button.
At some point, we need to look into the dynamic of black women protecting other black women. Because we rarely get to hear about the fact that don't nobody ever talk about how black women don't protect black women.
Can we finish our breakfast first? I mean, we talk about men today.
I'm just saying, bro.
Let's finish our breakfast.
Because No Name is out of here, and all she had to do was say whose name should not be mentioned
on Beyonce's Twitter account.
On
Beyonce's internet, in Beyonce's world,
which
she said
contradicts exactly what is being pushed.
Yeah, because she's putting two women against each other.
When you have to put one black woman down in order to praise another one up.
And I think, to be honest, I'm just gonna jump out here. I think it's kind of given the climate.
Oh, you out here with me? You ready to?
Right?
You ready to jump?
Not really. I think
you better sit.
No, I think it's
get your
cancel
head
culture.
back in this window.
I honestly believe it's cancel culture. Like we're in a place where like social media has placed us in a thing where it's like, I have to win.
I agree.
You know, there's like someone has to lose in any type of interaction.
I agree.
And I think what's happening is that we're not giving each other the benefit of the doubt anymore, right? Because it's like someone doesn't want to be the one who looks like the fool, and it really and I feel like it's kind of tearing us apart a little bit because it's like because we always say that not everyone is this way, but then we treat each other like they're everyone else, and they never give them a chance to actually show their true intentions, rather than say, you know what. I shouldn't have to do this for you, because then what will happen? The same thing, even if it's not black woman versus black women and black men. What happens if it's a different subject, right? We talk about defund the police. You hear that being thrown around. If someone is not paying attention and someone says, "What does defund the police mean?" right? And someone genuinely wants to know. Right, you're gonna say, "Yo, read the room," like da da da. Like I'm like, no,
go do your research. Look up what the word defund means.
It's all over the internet. Go look it up. The fuck is a hashtag? Click it.
But there is plenty of times, like in numerous different occasions, that even if it's something as serious as defund the police or as protect black women, that if you're gonna tell me to do my research with one, do your research with all of it.
Yeah,
because it should. Because like, you know what I mean, like don't pick and choose.
Yeah, so that's two different
so
conversations.
Stop asking me for links to shit.
Shut up.
Stop asking stop asking me for passwords for streaming services. No, do your own shit.
Do your own shit.
Do your own shit.
No, but that's two separate conversations, because you brought in cancel culture with the culture of saying do your research, and that's two separate things. I agree with cancel culture. Sometimes people jump out the window and they say some crazy shit, and instead of taking the time. Well, I kind of see how they relate now. Instead of taking the time to say, hey, you said this wrong because of X, Y, Z, people just be like, fuck you. But I think that goes along with us being frustrated. I'm tired and you can't be this stupid. So, come on.
Yes, I can.
I know, but how are you not? But we get frustrated. We're tired.
We can hold a college-educated motherfucker as somebody who's smart, but a motherfucker who dumb can't show that they dumb and then acts for help while being dumb.
I don't even want to say dumb. It's just like
uninformed.
Uninformed.
Sorry.
Or even ignorant. I'll even give you ignorant.
Right.
But I mean, ignorant has a negative count too. But let's say uninformed.
Uninformed. Yeah.
Right. Like it's like how can we collectively better ourselves if we always kind of say, yo, whenever you make it up to your level, right? Why am I expected? You know, why is a black person who reaches a certain level always like obligated to reach back and bring the next person up, right? Because if we kept that same energy, then that person is wrong too, right?
What person?
So say if that person who has reached a certain level of success and doesn't reach back to uplift their community, they would be wrong, right? The thing is, you know, and that's in terms of a monetary standpoint, because it's like I went through the same thing. Do your research. It just didn't pop up. It just didn't pop up for me. You know what I mean? Like, and things, but that person who was up above, who's not as oppressed, would be wrong. But the same thing when we're just saying just share knowledge. I'm not saying, and this is not about No Name and J. Cole at all. Like, I'm saying throw that away now. I'm just talking about just in general, like the ability to give each other the benefit of the doubt that I'm not trying to troll you first. I'm not trying, you know what I'm saying? Like
I think
allow me to expose my true intentions before you just say, you know what, get out of my face.
the difference in that is that you're talking about from a business aspect. This is something that somebody is doing in their business, as opposed to something being a social issue.
But
So-
I'm
but-
asking black
but economics,
women.
but the economics of the black community is a social issue.
Okay, so the thing is, like, you're more emotionally tied to the stuff that's going on that directly affects you, as opposed to sharing your business and how you got to where you're at with your business.
No, I don't agree.
Well, that's how I look at it. I'm more emotionally tied to being a black woman and being black in general.
But I think
So
I think two things can be true, though.
when I hear people say, why are black women upset? Why are they mad? How can I do X, Y, Z? I get upset because I feel like you should know this. As opposed to if somebody comes and asks me, how do you do a podcast, or how should I run my Instagram page, or what should I post? I'm more likely to help you with that because, yeah, it's some things that I can
What's
teach you
the
about.
difference?
It's a difference for me.
No, it's not, because
Because
I'm
I'm-
asking you for the information because you have it. If I say, Rez, who taught you how to love? You have the information. Why do I need to go look it up? I am looking it up because I'm asking you. I'm asking somebody who knows because they have the information. Why do I need to go somewhere and do it separately?
I feel like you're allowed to come to me with those questions because you're like my brother. I think the issue comes when you're going to a stranger.
But obviously, see, then we don't take into the vulnerability of going to a stranger.
I think the next time somebody asks you a question that you feel like you think they should know, tell them to listen to Textually Active Podcast, because we clearly have the energy to go back and forth with each other for you guys to listen and then teach your friends. If somebody's coming to you and they're like, I don't understand why Tiffany was mad about postpartum depression, go listen to episode, what was that, 113. Okay? Just go start referring people to podcasts, because everybody don't like to read in J. Cole's instance, but we're here for you guys so you can listen.
And the crazy shit is, obviously J. Cole did read because he read her tweet.
Mm-hmm. That's the point.
All right, that's a smart ass move right there.
Like,
You're being a smart ass.
All right, guys, this was a lot. Let's go ahead and take a break and come back with our final thoughts. So we're back. I feel like a lot of things were said and there are a lot of feelings still left on the table. I want to go around and kind of share some things that you kind of learned from this conversation, or something that you're taking away from the conversation.
All right, so I think what I've learned about this is that we are at a place where we're at a very heightened state and a very highly defensive state. And what I'm saying is not absolute, right? I think that like the plight of the black woman, the plight of black people, the plight of black men are real things, right? And in this particular case. So I'm not trying to make a blanket statement, but I feel like that we're at a point where we're looking at things at face value and not seeing what the intention is, right? And the thing is, I feel like that there might be somebody who's listened to this today, right, and has thought that me and Meezy might have been just out of the window and just not necessarily like just being problematic, or we're just, you know, this, that, and the third.
being men. Say it.
Right. Or men,
Being
we're just
men.
men being men and we'll never understand. We're stupid and we're dumb. I just think that giving someone the benefit of the doubt to actually explore their thoughts, right, and to look at the intention behind it and not necessarily how you interpret it. Because just the same way that you're going to tell me like, hey, like, why didn't you ask me what I meant by that? It's the same way why you're saying like, why didn't you just completely tell somebody what you meant in the first place? And that's it for me.
What do you have, Meezy?
Number one, I want us to get rid of the fucking phrase, read the room. Because we all ain't in the same goddamn room. Number one.
Same house either.
Not even the same house, fam. We all looking in through the windows. And
Especially
we can,
during COVID-19.
and we can see what we can see. If I can only see the kitchen and you see the living room, we not in the same room. We not in the same house.
It's perspective, man.
It's all perspective, fam. And I feel like we, instead of instead of making this a place where it's selfish, I feel like we should like find a way to make this more communal. I feel like we all, it's crazy how we can all come together when it's about shit that black people enjoy. We all know what niggas is gonna wear to brunch. We all know what songs need to be played at the cookout. We all know everything that happened at grandmama's house when you was with your cousins. Same shit happened. We all live the exact same life. But then it's somehow we find a way to distance ourselves when real shit come. So I feel like we need to get to a place where we understand, like, bro, no, stop talking to her like that. Ma'am, he is not doing anything wrong to you, and we all saw him not do anything. You are overreacting, and you feel how you feel, and it's okay. But here's how we think we see an issue. It's okay to talk to people. Like, you don't have to shut down. Like, just talk to people and get everybody's perspective, and then who knows? It might turn into a learning situation, that somebody learns something from this situation. And I think we just need to be open to teaching and open to being and to being taught. Like, it's just something as simple as that, bro. I don't know how to love Jazz properly. I don't know how to love my mom properly. But in order to do so, I have to ask the people who know best, the black women. I have to ask that, and they have to be willing to teach me what I'm asking.
They don't have to be willing to do anything.
See?
But I understand where you're coming from.
But
I take away from this. Sorry if I cut you off.
I was done, yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say,
nah, you was wild and I wasn't fit. See how that could come off. Now I'm like being derogatory. Nah.
Yo, you're crazy.
Yeah, we play too much.
Here I go. Oh my god.
Let's see. Like, now you feel offended.
Protect me. No, honestly, I took away from this conversation that we do have to be gentle with each other, and that's one thing that I kind of took away from a lot of the conversations that I had throughout this time, not just with you guys, but with some of my friends back home, and just being able to see things from different viewpoints and understand that everybody isn't in the same room, and we can't be rough with each other because everybody is being rough with us. So in the moments where somebody is coming to you and they don't know something, I understand that we're frustrated. I understand that we're upset. We don't have to, but it would be great practice if we did take some time and just have a conversation with them. However, me being someone who is very empathetic and I feel like I take on other people's energies and their problems, it's draining for me to have these conversations with people because it turns into a back and forth about why they're right or why I'm wrong, and it's draining. Like, I literally walked away from a conversation a couple weeks ago because I just literally could not take it. Like, I'm exhausted having this conversation, and then you have to imagine having that conversation over and over and over and over and arguing the same thing over and over and over and feeling like nobody is hearing you. So in the same sense you're asking somebody to teach you, think about, are you really ready to learn? Are you ready to debate them? Because they can be ready to tell you something, but if you're not willing to accept it, it turns into an argument and it's draining for the person that's trying to teach you. The same way that you would do in a classroom. Like, when a teacher's trying to teach you, they'll talk. You got any questions? They'll give you an activity, learn it, but it's not open for a debate in the classroom, especially high school, whatever, college. Also, in the meantime, in between time, get yourself a social justice buddy. This buddy will be somebody that you have those conversations with. If you are somebody who is educated in this, you grab yourself a little friend who don't know much and you send them something every day. Hey, boo, take a look at this. Hey, I don't have time to talk today, but take a look at this and we're going to report back.
With their permission.
You find yourself a buddy. Hey, do you mind if I tag along with you on this learning journey?
Let me know. You start sending me shit like that, swipe through.
But that's my two points. Just be gentle with your people, but also find yourself one person so that you can take the weight off of everybody else and dedicate your learning and teaching with that person. That's that on that. Can we get a music break?
Yeah, we might need one.
You are now tuned in.
You are now tuned in to WMEZ. This week, this is one of my favorite songs right now. And I ain't said that about anything that I'm about to play. I just found it this week. She don't even got that many followers on Instagram. So it's Rare, Underground, Uncut. This is Ray, R-A-E, and the song is called Wants. Here on WMEZ.
Textually active.
And we're back. That was Ray. The song's called Wants. It's been added to your baby maker. She got a dope project. It's called A Blues for Nina, like Love Jones. Fire project. But Ray, that was Wants, has been added to your baby maker playlist. If you'd like to hear that and more joints, be sure to go to your favorite streaming service, Tidal, Apple Music, and Spotify. Just type in Textually Active Podcast and it should pop up. At the chance it don't, you know where to hit us. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. If you got my number, just text me. And you can get the link for the Baby Maker playlist. And you too could maybe get that baby here on WMEZ.
So I've been listening to 10-Piece Killer Radio. And I must say that listening to you do that just now sounds exactly like how you do it.
Nah, bro, you know the greatest shit is this is way easier of doing it by myself. When I'm at home doing that shit, it takes me 30 takes. I just did that.
What's the episode I just listened to? Fuck the Establishment, the one that started with Snow on the Bluff, and it had that North Carolina song in the middle where I had to text you at 3 a.m. like, yo, bro, what's the fucking name of this song?
This shit fire.
But that's what I love about it. Like, I get to hear, especially with the baby makers here, I get to hear new songs that I wouldn't typically listen to. And then on 10-Piece Killer Radio, I'm like, yo, Uzi got a song with Wayne. Yeah. So it's dope.
Like two of your favorites. Yeah.
You can find it on Apple Podcasts, so go listen to that, guys. Go check it out. You know what I mean? Spotify be hating.
Just trying to share my platform with other people.
Yeah, I mean. But okay, so speaking of mean, and mean rhymes with memes, pull your meme out. I'm just going to keep this simple. Because the song Snow on the Bluff reminded me of a movie called Snow on the Bluff that I seen on Netflix.
Shout out Kurt Snow.
So in the words of Kurt Snow, no matter what happens, boy, keep that motherfucker rolling.
Like it.
And if that ain't a word during this time, during this pandemic, during all the shit that we going through, keep that motherfucker rolling.
Like it.
E, you got a meme? Nah? All right.
That nigga ain't got no meme.
He said he tired.
Yeah. I'm just gonna keep it a buck because this episode, if you got to this point, we kept it a buck.
Yeah.
And so my meme says, you ever read motivational posts from people that are toxic in real life? Capital letters LMFAOOOOOOO. Lying ass niggas.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening to another episode of Textually Active Pod. You can catch us every Tuesday. We drop our episodes at 6 a.m. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're on all of the above. In the meantime, in between time, keep up with us on our social media pages. We're on Instagram at Textually Active Pod. We're on Twitter at Textually Act Pod. And we're on Facebook at Textually Active Pod as well. We also have some clips dropping on YouTube, so be sure to keep up with those. And follow our YouTube, share our videos on your Facebook, and fuck with us because we fuck with y'all. We'll see y'all next Tuesday.
We'll be back.
Holla.
Thank you for listening to the Textually Active Podcast. This podcast is a full-service production from the Open Media Lab. Be sure to check in every Textual Tuesday along with following them on all social media at Textually Active Pod. Textually Active is a part of the Open Media Network.